Some say ignorance is bliss, yet the Stoics would disagree. They taught that true wisdom begins with recognizing our own limitations. But have you ever wondered how these ancient insights can still influence us today? Let us explore 7 signals that mark a drift away from reason, shedding light on the ways we might overlook our own shortcomings. Stoic thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus remind us to remain open and reflective. Keep these lessons in mind as we proceed. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. Your support helps spread these valuable life lessons to more people who need them. If you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss any new videos. Also, if you find this video helpful, comment number 1 below. If you do not like it, comment number 0 to let me know how I can improve future videos. Now let us begin with the first sign. Stoicism emerged in ancient Greece under the guidance of Zeno of Citium, then traveled to Rome where philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius refined its practice. At its heart is the conviction that virtue, not external success, determines genuine happiness. The Stoics taught that by mastering our reactions and clarifying our values, we free ourselves from needless turmoil and frustration. Instead of being swayed by temporary desires, we strive to align ourselves with rational principles rooted in nature. Though centuries have passed, these teachings remain vital for modern life. They remind us to focus on what lies within our power, our thoughts and our attitudes, while accepting events beyond our control with poise. Rather than equating cleverness with wisdom, Stoicism insists that intellect must be tempered by ethical commitment. In that spirit, let us proceed with a deeper look at 7 revealing signs. Each one highlights a mindset that can quietly undermine our pursuit of wisdom. Sign number 1, dismissive attitude toward knowledge. For the Stoics, intellectual arrogance stands among the earliest signals of unwise behavior. A dismissive posture toward new knowledge reveals a closed-mind one that assumes it has already gleaned every essential truth. This attitude hinders personal growth since wisdom is a process that requires ongoing discovery. Seneca observed that those who claim to know everything often understand the least because they shut themselves off from learning. A love of knowledge means welcoming new perspectives, whether found in philosophy, science, or personal reflection. Without this willingness to broaden our horizons, we risk stagnation. The wise acknowledge that endless mysteries remain to be uncovered, and they remain students at heart, ready to learn from each encounter. In doing so, they nurture a spirit of humility that paves the way for growth. Sign number 2, consistent blaming of others. One of the clearest signals of a misguided perspective is the tendency to accuse others for every misfortune. Stoic wisdom challenges us to examine our role in each situation before assigning blame. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that while external events may be beyond our control, our responses belong fully to us. By pointing fingers at colleagues, family members, or society, we dodge the opportunity to improve ourselves. In adopting this behavior, we also deny ourselves the chance to learn from mistakes. Seneca teaches that honest self-scrutiny is the bedrock of personal progress. Those who habitually fault others sabotage their own potential for growth. A willingness to accept responsibility signals a mature mind eager to cultivate virtue and reason. By acknowledging our part, we cultivate honesty, paving a path to wisdom. Sign number 3, inability to accept constructive criticism. In the Stoic tradition, a refusal to welcome honest feedback signals a rigid and unyielding mindset. Epictetus emphasized that genuine wisdom arises from careful self-scrutiny, which includes listening to the insights of others. Those who bristle at feedback or feel threatened by it deprive themselves of the chance to refine their character. This defensive posture typically masks a fragile ego that values comfort over self-improvement. Stoic philosophers remind us that such feedback, even when it stings, offers clues about our blind spots. By humbly evaluating suggestions from friends, teachers, or co-workers, we gain a broader viewpoint on our behavior. Embracing critique can shape us into more thoughtful, adaptable individuals, while those who dismiss it remain trapped in ignorance and unchanging habits persisting. Sign number 4, persistent emotional overreactions. The Stoics recognized that strong emotions, if left unexamined, can obstruct clear thinking. Seneca highlighted how uncontrolled anger or envy clouds judgment, resulting in rash decisions that erode self-control. Those who respond with outbursts often fail to pause and reason, which can damage both personal well-being and relationships. Stoicism does not demand the complete suppression of emotions, but promotes guiding them with reason. By practicing self-awareness and reflecting on the true source of our feelings, we can maintain a balanced perspective. When we understand our triggers, we reclaim responsibility for our reactions rather than blaming circumstances. In this way, the pursuit of equanimity allows us to act with wisdom rather than be led by impulsive passions. Doing so fosters deeper insight and personal growth. Sign number 5, rejection of self-reflection. Stoic philosophy underscores the value of daily introspection, whether through journaling or quiet contemplation. Without self-examination, we risk drifting into unproductive habits and never identifying areas that need improvement. Marcus Aurelius recommended a nightly review of one's thoughts and actions to keep the mind aligned with virtue. When we neglect this essential practice, we remain unaware of our blind spots, repeating the same mistakes without understanding why. True wisdom requires facing the truth about ourselves, even when it is uncomfortable. Those who reject self-reflection often claim they are too busy or find the process unnecessary. However, ignoring one's own failings prevents real progress. By observing our patterns and motives, we nurture self-awareness, the starting point for genuine personal growth, ultimately leading to better decisions. Sign number 6, underestimating virtue in favor of appearance. In the Stoic perspective, virtue stands as the highest pursuit, overshadowing superficial success or social standing. If we fixate on external markers such as wealth, status, or popularity, we overlook the deeper qualities that define genuine character. Marcus Aurelius often pointed out that passing acclaim is neither stable nor truly fulfilling, whereas moral excellence endures. Those who place undue emphasis on public image risk sacrificing honesty, integrity, or kindness for shallow applause. Stoicism teaches that while material comforts may please the body, they rarely satisfy the mind or soul. True contentment emerges from living uprightly and treating others with fairness. By valuing substance over surface, we align with the ancient wisdom that fosters lasting fulfillment and calm. This outlook fosters integrity. Sign number 7, clinging to false certainties. Stoic philosophy warns us against unshakable adherence to personal biases. When we hold tight to dogmatic opinions, we close ourselves off from progress. Epictetus championed the open mind, emphasizing that none of us possess absolute knowledge. The genuine seeker remains willing to reconsider beliefs if evidence or reason suggests otherwise. Those who defend outdated ideas for pride's sake risk stagnation. By stubbornly refusing to test or refine our convictions, we cut off opportunities for deeper understanding. True wisdom entails humility, acknowledging that we are not infallible. This habit of skeptical inquiry keeps us learning, while rigid clinging to false assumptions blocks intellectual and moral growth. The Stoic path encourages vigilance against prideful certainty in favor of ongoing exploration. By staying flexible, we grow. From dismissing knowledge to clinging to false certainties, these 7 signals highlight how easily we can stray from a life anchored in reason. Yet Stoic philosophy does not label mistakes as final judgments on our worth. Instead, each error hints at a lesson waiting to be learned. By tracking these signs in our own habits, we gain a clearer perspective on where we can improve. True progress occurs when we are prepared to adjust our viewpoint, own our responsibility, and choose virtue over convenience. Take a moment now to reflect on these points. Consider how small daily actions can guide you toward a steadier mind and a richer sense of purpose.